Welcome back, generals, to the war room. Now, stop. Hold your fire. Put down that musket for a second. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. You saw the thumbnail, you clicked on the video, and you let out a long, heavy, exhausted sigh. You're sitting there looking at your screen and saying, Mr. Bunal, are you serious? Another Napoleonic game? Are you really doing this again? Is there a secret 19th century portal in your living room? Have you been legally mandated by the ghost of the French Empire to play every single game featuring a guy in a funny hat? And honestly, I get it, I hear ya. We play a lot of historical videos. We play a lot of historic strategy games on this channel. If there is a hexagonal grid and a man screaming about artillery, odds are we have covered it. But lower your bayonets and hear me out, because today we are looking at something that takes a completely different, highly refreshing approach to the battlefield. Today we are diving into the beta test for a brand new indie title called Avant-Garde, Napoleonic Battles. Now, before we issue our first marching orders, if you are new to the front lines, welcome to the channel. We specialize in historic games, strategy games. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button for Mr. Bunal Gaming and smash the like button too to keep the morale of the troops high. And if you're watching this on your mobile device right now, do me a favor, look down below and hit that hype button. It only takes you a second and it really helps us push through the algorithm. We are building a massive army here of the Bunal Brigade, and generals, I need your help and I appreciate it so much. So, why are we looking at another musket firing, cannonball blasting simulator? What makes Avant-Garde stand out from the massive sea of 19th century warfare games? Well, first off, this is an indie game title built entirely from the ground up by a passionate solo developer. It's also a real-time strategy game set on a classic old-school hexagonal grid. Here's the kicker. It completely strips away all the cumbersome, drawn-out management of a massive military campaign. There's no worrying about supply chains 3 countries away. There's no arguing with political ministers. This is 100% battle-focused, dropping you directly into the thick of historic, authentic conflicts spanning from 1792 all the way up till 1815. The premise here is that you get to step directly into the boots of the greatest military minds of the era. You can embody Napoleon himself and lead the French forces to glory, or you can take command of his main rivals, whether it's England, Austria, Russia, Prussia, or Piedmont and Sardinia, and see if you can outsmart the emperor himself. You are maneuvering on the exact same trains as the generals of the era under realistic weather conditions and against the enemy whose every move follows historic logic. The game asks you to truly observe the battlefield, sense the shifting weather, and constantly gauge the morale and ammunition of your troops. Every single unit on the field, from the standard infantry to the specialized sappers to your charging cavalry and devastating artillery, has its own specific strengths, weaknesses, and formations that you have to master. But the wildest part of this game is how you handle the chaos of war. The battlefield in Avant-Garde is alive. The game heavily relies on dynamic, key events to shape the outcome of the match. Mid-fight, you might have to deal with a sudden game-changing arrival of enemy reinforcements. You might witness the tragic death of a key general falling in combat, or have a critical building explode right in the middle of your defensive line. You have to anticipate these decisive moments. You can trigger them, exploit them, or desperately try to avert them. Every single event presents either a massive opportunity to gain the upper hand or a terrible danger that could transform victory into a crushing defeat. And history is completely your sandbox here. You can follow the exact historic course, testing your strategic skills against identical conditions as your predecessors, or you can choose to completely rewrite the history books. You can customize your army and the enemies, experiment with different troop numbers, reorganize your formations, and test alternate scenarios. Are you capable of surpassing Napoleon? Probably. The man was brilliant, sure, but he didn't have a gaming mouse with 12 programmable buttons. Now, if you're worried about a massive headache including learning curve, don't be. Avant-Garde aims to be highly accessible. It features very clear step-by-step tutorial and offers 2 distinct attack modes that you can switch between at any time. There are simplified orders where a single click lets your unit automatically make the most of its movement and positioning, and precise orders or when you want full strategic command and need to dictate exactly what actions your units perform. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned RTS veteran, the path to glory is right here in front of you. Now, full disclosure, what you're looking at today is a beta build that the developer has sent over to us. I have played through the game twice now, and because it is still a beta and very much a work in progress, there is a limited amount of gameplay currently available. But We absolutely wanted to give this indie project the opportunity to shine. In this video, we're going to play through the tutorial quickly so you can see the mechanics in action, and then we'll jump right into the first historic mission and stick around until the very end of the video because I'll be giving you my complete, unfiltered, overall feedback. All right, generals, enough talking. Fixed bayonets. Let's head into the battlefield. Okay, generals, and here we are in the tutorial. So I was talking a little bit long, and we've been in the tutorial for a little bit here, and you can see we start out with one infantry regiment, a artillery piece, a supply unit that we just captured, and here we are attacking this artillery unit. So you can see that this is obviously just a tutorial. It's kind of going through the different motions. What I want to talk about here is there are different types of units, and we're going to see these more in the next piece, the actual gameplay piece. But you can see that there are a couple different kinds of units. There's cavalry, there's artillery, there's regular infantry, there are sappers, which I think is kind of interesting. I haven't really seen many sapper units in many of our Napoleonic games, so that is something that's fairly unique that I can think of. If you guys can think of another game that has sappers in it, leave a comment below. Let me know what I'm missing here. You're gonna see. I don't know if I think we're gonna do it here in a minute. We're gonna take our sappers and we can go up to a city and we can like plant bombs. We're gonna come here in a second and build a bridge across the river. So the sappers actually do kind of add a unique piece of gameplay to this game. Again, I don't really remember playing a game that has sappers in it that builds bridges and blows up towns. So again, if you guys can remember games that do this, let me know in the comments below. So again, guys, we're just kind of finishing up the tutorial. This is the last piece of it here. We're gonna come and take over this town. See, there you go. I'm gonna start building this bridge. And we're going to get more into the gameplay here in a second after you get past the tutorial. But if you do look, this is built on Unity Engine, so you can see that the graphics are, pretty decent overall. And again, this is a indie game, a solo developer, so I'm kind of a graphics whore. I really like to see graphics really well in games. Obviously, gameplay is more important, but I think if you have both, it's really great. And I think even if you have really good gameplay but not that great of graphics, I think that's really difficult for me, at least personally. So again, here we're going to blow up this town right here with the sappers. Watch this. Boom. There we go. I got to right click it. Sorry. I'm going to figure it out here in a second. We've planted the bomb already. Now we're going to right click on the town. Come on, Mr. Bunal. There we go. Detonate or destroy. Boom, there we go. Victory. So again, I have not really seen a whole lot of use of sappers in these Napoleonic games, so I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, generals, we are now going to jump into the actual gameplay of this game. Now again, this is also something that we've been seeing kind of a lot of in these new Napoleonic games, which is really like the tabletop version. And if you look at this is like the old school board games, right? It's on the shelf. You turn around, you have the back. There's like a back of it. There's different cards. It looks like it looks like an old school Mattel or I can't think of any other game brands, but like Monopoly, whoever makes Monopoly, Parker Brothers, those kind of actual old boxes. So that is kind of a cool thing. If you're into those old tabletop games, this is going to bring some nostalgia for you. Now again, I'm going to say it a couple times in this that this is only a beta, so we don't have the full aspects of the game. As you can see up there, we can play as Austria, but it's not available yet. There is these little booklets, some context around the battles for the different nations that are playing in these battles. Again, this is like on a table, right? There's your box. It's very much giving that old school tabletop, gonna play with your parents, gonna play with your dad, gonna play with friends. Here we have kind of, again, the view of the Unity engine here. Pretty cool. Like I said, for a solo dev and a hex style, it looks pretty clean. The colors are good. The mountain looks pretty good. It's got that cross section. If this is something that you're into, reliving the board games from, the 90s, 80s, 70s, all that kind of stuff, then this is probably something that's right up your alley. And look at the box over there. It looks like you've got the top off, right? It does have that feeling of nostalgia. Okay, now we're actually into the actual gameplay now of this beta. And now this is the second time I've played, maybe even the third time I've played through, so I'm going to be able to kind of march through this really quick. And that's actually one of the things I do want to mention. And like I said, I'm going to say it a whole bunch more times. This is a beta, so you have to kind of give it, in my opinion, a little bit of slack. This is not the finished game. The devs sent this to us to play and to test out. So, this is basically my feedback to him as we're going through this game. But again, I'm trying to caveat that I understand that this is probably going to change in the future, that there's new things going to happen. So I'm not trying to be harsh, but I am trying to be as honest as possible. And what I'm getting at here is that this game is going to play super quick. I think I have maybe 30-40 minutes in Steam on this game, and I've already played it 3 times through and the tutorial. Now let's just look here. Now here's a position. I have 2 different positions on the map. We're shooting the cannons, right? The cannons already have knocked out like 100 men or so. I have guys in the town, so they're taking less damage from the enemy Austrians right now. And you're going to see I'm going to start moving my cav on the other side because he's got cav coming. So we can change our formations from column to line. There's also square. I have not used the square formations yet. You can also see here that that cannon and that infantry are really wiping out that Austrian guy on that flank right there. And then here's this cav coming around the back. So I'm just kind of sitting here with my cav. I've got I want to protect the artillery. That's basically what the cav is doing there. And you can see his artillery's firing, my artillery's firing. But what I'm trying to get at here, now watch this cav charge here. This Austrian cav charge is going to come and hit us. He has 700 men. Now he's already lost 200. He's lost 300. Yeah, I've lost 25 men maybe, and he lost his entire 700 cav. So I don't know if that's a balancing issue. I don't know if that's exactly what the deal is with that. But that is kind of gnarly, all right? Like, we have very little casualties, but we completely wiped out his unit. And then same thing here. I didn't have to fight over here. I just had to move my guys up. Now, we did have pretty significant casualties from 1,400 to 500, 600, but we've taken out his infantry in the town. And so basically, if you look on both sides of this map, we've already beat his entire infantry right there. Now I'm going to move up. I've already taken out one of his artillery pieces. I'm going to take this other artillery piece. I started out with almost 1,500 men. I've lost 100 men on this side and a couple, like 200 a cav. But I've completely wiped out his left side. He had an infantry, he had 2 artillery pieces and a cav. I've wiped them all out. And now on this side, I've taken out 2 infantries, and I'm about to take out this artillery. So now we're charging up here. That's a little bit dangerous, obviously, because they have canister. And you're going to see he's going to hit me somewhat decently here. I got 1,200 men, 1,300 men almost. Got 500 artillery. You can see I'm ticking down here a little bit, right? I'm taking casualties, but boom. There's his artillery's gone, right? So now I'm going to start marching, taking cities. This infantry guy here is going to start taking that supply train, and I'm also going to go after his general and start taking other cities. So that is really, we've basically won this first mission within, and this is real-time playing, right? So we've won this mission in, I don't know, 4 minutes or so, 5 minutes of gameplay. Yeah, I don't know. Again, this is a beta. I played it a couple times, so I kind of knew what I wanted to do in the game. But really, this is, to me, very, very light in gameplay as of right now. Very light in actual tactics and strategies and stuff. This is kind of like, in my opinion, if you want to play with your younger brother, your son or daughter, if you want to introduce someone to Napoleonic games at a young age, that might be what this game is really good at. If you're a seasoned player, a seasoned hex game aficionado, I don't know if this is going to scratch any itches for you. I think this is way too simple as it is right now. And to be honest, I'm not sure what they would have to do to really bring it to be much more in depth. And that's a take it or leave it kind of thing. Maybe you are looking for a lighter experience, a more fun, just kind of casual experience, then maybe this is for you. Exactly. Now watch this here real quick. My cav run in here. I knew this wasn't gonna be that good. I didn't think it was gonna work that well. But watch how quickly it did. Like, boom, within a second, their general unit has completely wiped out 200 of my cav with no casualties on the inside. So again, I don't know if that's like a bug, a balancing thing. I'm not exactly sure. He was in the woods, he was in a forest and a hill, but still, like, you know, it's a little weird. It's a little, again, too easy, too arcadey. To be honest, you see here, I lost 3,000 for him, and I don't even think I feel like I lost not that many men. That's kind of a lot that we were doing here. You know, again, it is what it is. It's a beta. It's a solo indie dev. So that's kind of my feedback. It was way too easy for me. It wasn't a super in-depth game. The graphics are pretty decent. You know, I'd give them roughly you know, an 8-ish, 7.5, 8 for the graphics. I'm not a huge like tabletop kind of guy, so you know that isn't really a huge appeal to me on this. But here's something I want to show real quick, the credits here. So now look at these teams. As solo dev, he's got some help with like history stuff here, and it looks like it's a French or maybe even Quebecois team. I'm not sure if they're from Canada or from actual France. But you can see that's kind of how their names look, right? Very French names. But here's coming up right here's what I want to see. Special thanks to my dad. Special thanks to my girlfriend. Shout out to the dev. That is so awesome. I think that's beautiful and excellent. I wanted to really quickly shout out. That really kind of brings a tear to my eye a little bit. That's really nice that he mentions his dad and his girlfriend here. So, you know, shout out to the dev here for sending us this beta, letting us play it and test it out. I really do appreciate it. Overall, I would give this game right now, to be honest, like maybe a 6 for me. I think the graphics look good. I think it's a little bit too easy. Again, I played it 3 times. There's only one mission here. There's only one battle here. I played it 3 times through, and I think it's taken me longer to edit this video than I did to play those 3 times. So very easy game, very easy to play, very simple. If that's something you're looking forward to, something just kind of mindless, easy game to play, then this might be for you. If you're trying to maybe introduce it to a younger sibling, a kid, a grandkid even, this might be like, and don't take this the wrong way, baby's first Napoleonic game, right? Like you have to get into the younger generation somehow. So maybe that's what this is kind of for. And again, last time I'm going to say it, this is a beta. So, you know, maybe at some point it's going to be even more robust. This is just, again, a beta, so we'll see what happens there. All right, generals. Well, that wraps it up for the first mission here. So I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this look at Avant-Garde, please do leave me a like. If you're new to the channel, then consider subscribing to Mr. Bunal Gaming. I am a new channel trying to grow, and every little bit helps. Also, if you're on your mobile phone right now, you're still watching, look down, hit that hype button. It only takes you 1 second, 1 click, and it really does help push us through the algorithm. Okay, generals, until next time, I will see you on the next battlefield.